Well, if one of your goals this year is to update your home, windows, or patio, right now may be the perfect time to do it. Pat Doherty, owner of Windows of Greater Tucson, is here with some great options and some great insight and expertise. Pat, thanks again for joining us.
Well, thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
Pleasure to have you here. So it's no secret, I mean, we had such a mild winter, and the summer really, I think, is going to be one of the hottest ones we've ever had. When people are thinking about their home, what should they start thinking about when they want to upgrade it?
Well, probably the number one thing is windows. You probably lose more energy through the windows than anything else. Our lattice helps in the back. It gets rid of the heat, 10 to 12% that way. But windows is the single biggest, especially if people have single pane or the old aluminum windows.
Well, we were talking a little bit behind the scenes, and you were telling me some really fascinating things about why this may actually be the best time for people to start thinking about these types of upgrades. And you were talking about the raw materials market and how that's changing or how that will change. So tell us a little more about that.
Well, I mean, it's like, and I talked to a lot of customers, and they'll say like, yeah, everything is going up naturally. But I said, it isn't naturally going up. I mean, every year prices will increase on something. But due to the fires in California and all the hurricanes, and in Houston and New Orleans, Florida, then you got in Washington and in Oregon, they have got a lot of fires. People forget about those. But take in Northern California, they alone, there's 9,000 to 10,000 houses that have to be rebuilt. Now there's another 2,000 or 3,000 down below. And now the mudslides come. That's another 1,000 something. So to keep it simple, when I explain to people, and I've been trying to push this to people, raw material is going through the roof.
Right.
Not just windows are going up, 2x4s, plywood. If you bought a sheet of plywood August, $8 to $10, $12, it's over 20. A 3/4 is over 30. So they have to build, all that stuff has to be rebuilt. Now, if all our windows are built in Yuma, give an example, and the glass company we use is Cardinal Glass. They're kind of one of the bigger West Coast glass companies, so they make for a lot of people. For an example, if they have 5 plants, they're making glass, they're at full capacity. We're at full capacity right now down in Yuma. So where is the supplies going to come from? To keep it very simple, if Alpine pays for a piece of glass like that window that you're looking at now, if they paid $100, easy figuring. So in January it should be 105, 106, 110 at the most. Now it'll come in at 145, 150, 60, and if we balk at it, Alpine balks or some other window company, they'll ship it to California.
Right.
I mean, all that stuff is going on. It's just not regular, price increase, which everybody kind of expects. This is huge difference. I mean, I would guess by the time the year gets over, windows will be up 20%.
Wow.
It's just because of raw supply.
Well, what you're saying makes a lot of sense, and you're telling people to sort of get ahead of this price wave, get ahead of it while the prices are low now, have Windows of Greater Tucson, help you out, upgrade your home at a price that's actually affordable, unlike later in the year. But you have other ways that you actually pass on savings to the customer. What other ways do you do that?
What makes me kind of unique is, one, I don't have a showroom. So I don't have the overhead expense that everybody else has. I kind of have told this many times in the customer's house, I'm a farm boy out of Wisconsin, so I can outwork everybody. So I don't need a lot of help in that retrospect, so it passes the savings on. The number one goal is for you to be happy. Number two is, you don't know it yet, but you be part of the sales team, sell somebody else. But and I was stressing, going back to it, I was stressing in November and December. I have a lot of business that were stressing, buy them in 17, we'll put them in 18. I don't care when I put them in 18, but beat the price increase. I mean, if you have a big house and the windows are 10,000, we'll say, whatever the model windows. If you waited till March, April, May, they're probably 12,000.
Right.
And you'd make the same profit you did if you could have sold them at 10 versus 12. It's just as simple. And I don't think the public really realizes this yet. And California's gonna, and the other problem with Tucson is that we were so slow for 10 years, really nobody did anything. You have a lot of the older communities that are for retirement people. A lot of the older people have moved on or moved to, assisted living. Now young people are coming in. They're all remodeling, putting new kitchens in, new windows, new carpet, all that stuff. So it becomes a supply and demand.
Well, you beat the price increase, but you also get the latest in technology. And before we run out of time, I want to kind of talk about some of the examples you brought with you.
Well, I just kind of delayed how the aluminum lattice. And if you go onto the website, and you'll probably mention, but if you go to the gallery part, you can look in the gallery and see all the different lattice stuff, and it just shows the different colors. Our window is, like I said, built in Yuma. It's a very, very good window. It's an A-tier window, they call it, because it's over 3 inches. It's 3 1/4. It's got 80 mil. When you get over that, that kind of makes it an A-tier window. And the glass, you have choice of glass. They have a new glass, that little one, it's a little darker, we call it the blue glass, but it gets the solar heat gain down to 14 to 15, which is unheard of.
Right.
6 months ago. That's how new the technology is.
Incredible.
So if you combine, I would say, if you combine all that plus lower overhead, you're getting an A-tier window for the price of a B or C pricing.
These are just a couple of the examples, and you mentioned the website, and we're looking at some of the pictures too. There are so many different jobs that you've done, projects, different types of looks for people. They can get inspiration from the website, you know, look through that gallery and really get the perfect window or lattice for them. And Pat, as always, thanks for your expertise.
Oh, you're
thanks
welcome.
for coming on and
Thank you.
sort of telling us about this before the big prices really hit. So pleasure to see you again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now take advantage of this special offer. Buy one, get one free. Call 520-488-9469 right now, or to learn more, just log on to windowsofgreatertucson.com.